March 4th, let's take a quick and easy look at the Winnipeg Bio Level 4 Security Lab Scandal that's just in front of our Parliament recently. This goes back to 2019. Two Chinese scientists made off with, well, it's undisclosed what, from the lab. No contention that they made off with something. 2019. It came to light as a scandal in Canada in 2021. 4 times Trudeau was called upon in Parliament to release the cabinet documents on this subject matter. 4 times he refused, culminating in threatening to sue the Speaker of the House, Anthony Rota, because Rota stood up with the paperwork that said, hey, you have to do this, you can't decline it. Yeah, when did that ever happen? Anyways, Trudeau then called a snap election, because when an election is called, anything that's being investigated is swept off the table. Any committees, any commissions, whatever the case may be, poof, swept off the table. Our mainstream media presented that 36-day minimum by law snap election. They said Trudeau did it because he was polling well and thought he could get a majority government. He wasn't polling well at all. One might question, because he won a minority again, he actually shrunk, lost seats, got in by the skin of his teeth with Chinese electoral interference, which is a whole nother scandal from this one. So, why has it taken us till 2024 then for this subject matter to be brought back to the table? Well, the Conservatives had to get the documents through the Freedom of Information Act, or perhaps the parliamentary parallel of. Anyways, they've got the documents now, and the Liberals are looking nervous. Trudeau's take when asked about it is, this is a closed matter. This was done years ago, and it's terrible that the Conservatives are playing partisan politics, because we need to move forward with making sure such a similar thing doesn't happen again. Well, this goes back to 2019, Justin. Nice try. Mark Holland, he's our Minister of Health. He's the guy in front of the cameras taking the heat on this. And I think it was on Friday, he was in front of the press being grilled pretty heavily on it. And one of the questions was, Mr. Holland, why is this taking so long? Why has this taken so long? Oh, well, amongst other things, there were the concerns of privacy for the 2 scientists. Say what? We knew who those scientists were. They're a married couple. They're still living in Canada. We knew in 2019 who they were. Pretty feeble excuse there. Anyways, I think that explains where we are with the scandal. Now, let's move into some speculation at this point. About a year ago, the I-5 had a meeting on the West Coast. I think it was in San Francisco. Now, the I-5 is the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. I standing for intelligence. Spooks, Bond, James Bond, were to share intelligence. Canada wasn't invited to the table. In fact, they never even sent Trudeau a memo. He just got dusted off. And that was a big meeting. It has to do with security in the South Pacific, and if he followed any of it at the time, Australia is getting some big money, nuclear subs, but doesn't matter what they got. It was a heavy meeting, and Trudeau wasn't at the table. Speculation, but one wonders, are we even part of the I-5 anymore, and is there any connection to this Winnipeg Lab scandal? Because it's one thing when we have a scandal like in-house, so to speak, the Arrive scandal. Well, do the other countries care what Trudeau does with our money? Wasting it, squandering it, stealing it, losing it? Not so much. But when something sneaks out of a laboratory, that's of international concern. But as I say, that's speculation. So that's what it's all about.